Now, let us talk about another important concept of AngularJS, and that is routing. Here in our solution explorer, when we go to the app start, we can see that there is route config file, there is web API config, but these are server side routing. In Angular, we can actually do client side routing. Let's look at how it works in AngularJS. So first, let me confirm I have included the Angular route, and there it is. I have already included the Angular route in the bundle config file. As you might remember, I had downloaded the Angular route file from the NuGet package manager when I was downloading the AngularJS. Now, first let me clean the space, close all documents. Let me go to the scripts area and let me open the app to do file. Now we will require a dependency. In order to use the Angular route, we need the ng route dependency. So let's bring that. We need to define the configuration. It will be provided by the route provider. Route provider dot when it is root, we will be using controller login controller as VM, and now we will be using the template URL. Template URL will provide the location of the file that will be loaded. So we have not created any client-side HTML file. We will do that shortly. When register controller is still going to be login controller as VM. Template URL, we have not yet created the template for this as well, and now the default one. Otherwise, we will be redirecting it to the root. Now we have to create the templates for the client side. Let me first create a folder. Let me add a file, and that will be login and let me add another file that will be called register. Let's get rid of these markups. Let us copy the markup from index.html. Let's do a copy, Control V. Since we have defined the controller in the route itself, we do not need that. So let me save that. And then for register, go to register. So copy this, paste this, and again here we do not want that. And now let us give the path for our template URL. Client views / login.html, client views / register.html. With that done, we can actually get rid of this register.cshtml. So let me get rid of this. Now we'll have to modify our index.cshtml. So let's do that. So here, let me get rid of the entire content. Class equals to, let this be container, div class equals to row. Then this is the area where the templates will be loaded. So ng view will automatically load the template depending upon the route information that it gets. So let's run that. So as you can see, the template has been properly loaded. Let's do F12 to open up the debugging window, and let me log in. It seems we are not getting into the login area. Let us look into that. Okay, we are getting. Let me go to the client views folder, and there I will add a new HTML file. So I'll call it add to do. So let me get rid of this markup. Add to do. Let me give a line. Class container. I'll pause the recording as I complete the markup. As of now, the add to do.html looks like this. I wrote these lines of markup when the recording was paused. You can simply copy these lines of code by pausing the video. I'll explain about this later as we write controller, adding the to do to the web or posting the to do to the web API. It simply contains the form elements, the title, description, target date, target time, and then we have a button. We'll come back to it little later. Now let me write a controller to add the to do for the user. So I'll create a new controller. I'll call it to do controller. Use strict angular.module app to do dot controller to do controller to do controller. So this controller will be responsible for adding the to do, retrieving to dos. There will be retrieval of the completed to dos, overdue to dos, and the due to dos. We'll have all those functionalities here, and this controller will also use the to do service that we created earlier to access the content from the web API. To do controller will have variable pm equals to this pm dot new to do equals to this vm dot to do's to do's. This will hold the to do's that will retrieve from the API. So vm dot to do's will be an array. That is it. First let's write the function to add the to do. vm dot add to do equals to function if vm dot new to do equals to null, console dot log no data available else. Now here we will be using the to do service. So first let's inject the to do service into our controller, and we will write a to do add to do function in the to do service. To do service dot add to do. Here we'll pass this new to do and it will return us a promise. Then function response function response pm dot message equals to this pm dot message equals to data successfully added. vm dot display message equals false. vm dot display message equals to true. vm dot display message equals to true. vm dot message equals to data could not be added. So now let's go to our to do service. Add to do. So this dot add to do equals to function to do. Before I write a to do function, every time we send a data, we have to pass the token as well, so that the server can validate and add the necessary data to the system. For that, we need to have a mechanism to store the token that has been retrieved from the server, and then we have to inject that token every time we send a new request to the server. For that, let's modify the login function.